The West Highland Way, Britain's most popular recreational footpath, attracting visitors worldwide for its stunning scenery, wild atmosphere, and varied terrain, traversing 96 miles from urban jungle to isolated highlands. For 25 years, I dreamed of the chance to tackle this long-distance adventure, and in 2025, I was finally able to do it. And now for introductions. My name is Chris, and this is my son Baron. I'm just your ordinary guy from Middle America that fell in love with all things Scotland as a child, thanks to good fiction novels by Stephen Lawhead, and the fact that my ancestry traces back to Edinburgh and Glasgow. I traveled to Scotland in 2000 on a church mission trip and got a small taste of the beautiful country. Afterward, I vowed to come back with a bit more time so that I could focus on enjoying the experience. And this was the year I finally made good on that vow, dragging my 18-year-old son with me, though it didn't take much convincing. Having already spent several days in and around Edinburgh, we were fully immersed in the Scottish culture. And bonded with the palpable spirit of its people. Taking in a sunrise on Arthur's Seat. Losing our way and ourselves on Edinburgh's meandering streets. Exploring the mysterious Roslyn Glen. Scrambling the dramatic cliff sides at the Ely Chain Walk. And paying homage to the Old Course and Cathedral in St. Andrews. This land had firmly taken its hold by the time we arrived in Glasgow to start our walk. Traditionally, the West Highland Way begins in a small town on the northern outskirts of Glasgow called Mulgai. After long study and consideration, I decided to add a day at the beginning and walk the Kelvin Walkway from Glasgow to Mulgai. Though not officially part of the West Highland Way, it adds only another 10.5 miles to the trail and makes sense as a starting point since one has to go through Glasgow anyway to get to the West Highland Way trailhead. This is what I'm calling the West Highland Way Day 0. For the first 5 or so miles, the Kelvin Walkway is a paved municipal river path following closely to the Kelvin River until finding dirt paths for the second half and then the Allender River until reaching Mulgai. The Kelvin Walkway terminates at Mulgai train station, or if you wish, you can continue on a few hundred yards to the trailhead for the West Highland Way. After spending most of the morning taking in Glasgow, we started our walk at the convergence of the Kelvin River and the Clyde River inside of the tall ship, which is moored in the Clyde River as a showpiece for the fantastically designed Maritime Museum. The newly built pedestrian bridge over the Clyde provides a great viewpoint. From there, it's a pleasant walk through the streets of Glasgow into Kelvin Grove Park, situated along the Kelvin River, adjacent to the Kelvin Grove Art Museum, which is worth a visit if you have the time. The path follows the river within Kelvin Grove Park for a short while. Busy with visitors, dog walkers, and commuters, until the crowds thin out and the path becomes more of a pleasant river walk. Eventually reaching the Maryhill Locks on the Forth and Clyde Canal. We decided to make the run up the hill to get a better look at the locks for ourselves. Shortly after the locks, the path leaves the river to cross a busy road and enter Maryhill Park. This signals the beginning of the end of city walking. After leaving the park, the path rejoins the river and leaves homes, businesses, and urban influences behind. The path itself narrows and meanders among trees and grass. I wore shorts this day since it was warm and was mostly city walking, but this section had me questioning my choice as I felt very vulnerable to ticks with my exposed legs. After crossing the river at a busy A-road, we continued toward Mulgai. Glimpses of the hills and the highlands far to the north gave us hints of the days to come. The Allender River joins the path rather unceremoniously. I was actively watching for the change, and due to easy conversation with my son and focusing on my footfall on the path, I still missed it. The Allender winds its way through pastoral landscapes until reaching a golf course, which forces the path to cross the river for a short time, and then allows you to cross back over on the other side. Here, the path suddenly dumps you into a city street. Signage points you left, under an overpass, then immediately right to a staircase that leads into Allender Park, and onto the train station. We stayed to the path, and continued past the train station, to the obelisk which marks the beginning of the West Highland Way. That's it for our adventure on the West Highland Way, Day 0 on the Kelvin Walkway. Join us for our next episode, the West Highland Way, Day 1.